Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap session for Thursday, January the 25th, 2018. My name is Doug Kay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market. Then we drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses for the day. We do create multiple hypotheses. These are our trade plans. Nobody can tell you what the market's going to do. We therefore formulate hypotheses based on normal auction and then wait to see what the market does on the RTH Open, who takes control, and what hypothesis or trade plan best suits the market. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email at quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website. There's no blog. This is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to, and we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. So taking a look at yesterday, our main hypothesis was an open auction out of range, a move up, take out the overnight high, or just take out the overnight high to equalize it, and then rotate back down into the naked VPOC, and then somewhere between there and the value area low, we were looking for a basing pattern and a move back up towards making new all-time highs. Hypo 4 was a take-back day. So we got Hypo 1 with a move down to that, the Hypo 4 had us going down to that target down at the 2850, that single that was down there. So we started out with Hypo 1, and basically that played out, and then we got continuation down to Hypo 4, and then we came back up, and where we closed was interesting because we closed right. Our VPOC was right in line with the prior day at the 4050, and we closed right near there. So they are, accepting that 2840. The buyers stepped in yet again, and in the overnight action, we tested that 35 level again, put in a higher low, just a single tick higher, but then they started to get back into balance. They stayed in balance until Europe opened, and then Europe took us up, and currently we're just making new highs yet again. Not all-time highs, but highs in the Globex, and only a couple points off of the all-time high at 2855. And the VPOC, very important here, the VPOC has shifted from the last three sessions, the last two sessions, and then for most of this session, it was around that 4050, and now it's shifted up to the 49, and we're coming up towards that all-time high at 2855. So 55 and a quarter. So this market is still, in its trend, even a move. And the move was fairly big, from 55 and a quarter, new all-time high, down to, 28, 25, 50. That's a fairly decent day. But the fact that it was two-sided, it was also a neutral day. And we thought that it was going to be neutral extreme. Well, it did go neutral extreme. It just didn't stay that way. It came right back up into balance. So I call it I'm going to call this a failed neutral extreme day to the downside. And now we're coming up onto the all-time high. So this is a very significant clue in terms of, is this market rolling over? No, this market is not rolling over. The buyers are stepping in, and they're stepping in nice and strong down in the 20s and 30s. So if we take a look at the bigger picture, you can see that it was a red day, although it didn't seem like a red day. It seemed like it was going to be a big time red day, but they took more than half of it back and came up and closed right back inside of the 3-day balance, which is at 2840. And currently, right now, we're up in that 53 area and expecting that we might put in a new all-time high during the Globex and create another unequalized high. But regardless of if it's put in now or put in the RTH, it does look like that 55 and a quarter is not going to hold. Taking a look at the news, we did just have news. We had, first of all, the European interest rate was left, unmoved, and the unemployment rate, the unemployment initial jobless claims was a little bit better than expected, although continuing jobless claims was, a bit of a miss. It was a little bit higher than expected. Core retail sales in Canada, really, really good beat, 1.6. So in terms of more news, right now we still have Draghi speaking at the ECB. Of course, there's still the Davos, headline news that can come out during the course of the day. But 10 o'clock, excuse me, 10 o'clock, we've got new home sales, and then natural gas at 10:30. The KC Fed Composite and Manufacturing Index, not market movers. And then we've got the 7-year note at 1 o'clock. And then that's it. We do have Japanese news coming out later tonight that could move in the Globex. So not a lot of news, but there is stuff we're going to watch out at 10 o'clock. Taking a look at the overnight levels. Of course, our overnight low is 35.22. We're continuing to make new overnight highs at 53.75 so far. I'm expecting this is probably going to go higher, but right now it's at 53.75. Very toothy profile. Got a couple LVNs we want to pay attention to. First one would be this one right here at the 50 area. You've got an LVN here at the 49.75. That is going to be a key line for me. A key trade area for me. And then it gets really thin all the way down to that 42, but there's an LVN from yesterday at the 45.50, which was our IB, and we've got that 44.75 prior high. So I'm going to use that LVN to guide me. If we get below that, we're back inside of value. This is a wide value area, so I'm not putting a lot of weight on the value itself. But if we get back inside or below that 44.75, a move down to the 40.50 and the naked close at 41.50 is anticipated, and I'll be targeting that naked close below the 45 area. And then, of course, we've got the overnight low down here, and there's really not much more down here to lean against. And then the other area that I'll be looking is this area right here, which is the 35-36 area. That's, the buyers have been active in that area. But if we get below it, I'll be looking for the overnight low to get taken out and move back to this 34.50 target, which was an HVN from yesterday, and then possibly a move down to our value area low and the other little LVN down here, down at the 30 level, the 29.75 30 level, which is also our well, this is actually going to move because I set this a little bit earlier. So right now, off of the 53.75, Our 20-period daily ATR, full session average true range, is expanded again to 2078. So off of the high, current high, our downside daily ATR is at 3275. And off of the low overnight, our downside daily ATR, our upside daily ATR target is up here at 56, and we're expanding this out even more. We're now 54. Oh, I'm sorry, that's 53.75. I'm gonna lose my voice here. Overnight high 53.75. So in terms of levels, there's our levels. Our overnight VPOC is at 49. And our yesterday's open is at 48. So in terms of hypotheses, I'm looking for an open auction out of range. We are seeing some selling pressure, but the buyers keep buying the dip. So my hypo 1 and hypo 2 are going to be pretty much a coin flip, equal weighted, and hypo 1 is going to be an open auction out of range. I'm sorry, in range, out of value, a move up, take out the overnight high, put in a new all-time high, and then find responsive sellers and start working our way back through repairing the upper distribution from yesterday's RTH session and working our way down with the main target down here at 40.50, which I expect to base and start moving back up and closing somewhere in this 49 to 50 area. I'm expecting a rotational day today. It's just whether they move to the upside first and then grind down base and then start grinding up again, or whether or not we open auction, which would be hypo 2, open auction in range, out of value, a move down into the 40, 50 area, and then possibly even a probe down to the lower side, that 36 area again, and then a basing pattern and a grind up towards the overnight high and the all-time high, but basically chopping in this 56 to 40, 50 area. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is going to be an open test drive, failure to close the gap somewhere down here in the 49 to 44, expecting or even just holding the 50 level and going up and making new all-time highs and working our way up towards that 2860 area. And we do have a measured move that goes from December the 29th to January the 9th to January the 10th, and that measured move is up at 62.50. And that's our main target for our hypo 3. We also have a zipper measured move from the Globex. I don't know if we've hit it yet. Impulse starts from 36.25 up into the zipper, and that zipper measured move is 58.50. Now, usually I say that I don't put a lot of weight in a zipper, a zipper measured move when it goes from the Globex to the RTH. This one's different because the impulse and the zipper are all in the Globex. So I'm still putting a lot of weight on this, and it doesn't get violated until we get down to 36 1/4, and that won't happen unless we go into my Hypo 4. And my Hypo 4 is an open auction in range. Take out the overnight high, possibly put in a new all-time high, but finding strong responsive sellers, rotating us all the way back down to 40, 50, chopping, and then failing and pushing down towards that 28, 29 area again, and coming down and getting basically railroad tracks, with the move back down. So those are my main hypotheses. Taking a look at gold, gold went and hit our next big target. Oh, wrong one. Our next big target above, which was that 55.50 area. We're continuing this move up. We just went up and had a new high at 65.40. We've come back a little bit. That we did have a prior microcomposite VPOC that was at 64.50, but the next target isn't until we get all the way up here into the 1393 area. This whole area, I mean, we're going to be watching this fractal high at 66.70 to see if we break it, but we have to go all the way back to the middle of 2016 to find targets above, and above that 64. The next one is in that 93 area. So the 2-day balance so far, we're back in price discovery, so I'm not bringing these two days into the profile that we just broke out of, but the 2-day balance is at 59. So it's either a break above the high and a continuation above 65, or we're likely to start drifting back towards the 58, 59 area, but I'd actually be looking to come down and test the lows. Anything below the 55, if we don't hold the 55, then I'm looking for a move back down into that 49, 48 area, and basically a move down through the 2-day microcomposite value area. And just coming in, this I don't think that if we break out of this distribution zone, if we don't get above the high, we're going to end up chopping in this area down towards the 53 and just maturing this distribution zone. It's a little toothy here. There's not a lot of price acceptance, or there's undetermined value in this area still, so they'll probably have to chop around here and probably try to find value in the 53, 55, or 59 area before they make their next move up. Anyway, that's what I'm looking at in gold. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.